this commandment has been debated. Like, what's the difference between thou shalt not kill and thou shalt not murder? But also, and maybe more importantly, how Jesus later on personalizes the sixth commandment for us in a way that should hit an awful lot closer to home. But before we get to that, let's talk about the difference between killing and murder. One of the more livelier debates that I ever had in seminary in my Christian ethics class was whether or not the strong have an obligation to stand up for and to protect the weak or the innocent. This idea of just war theory. Or does God condemn killing no matter what? Regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the situation. Did Jesus' teaching call Christians to complete pacifism? Or are there times when we should stand up and fight against evil or injustice or against the strong that would prey upon the weak? Like I said, it was a pretty good conversation. If you look in most English translations in your Bible, you will see Exodus 20 verse 13 written this way: thou shalt not murder. With the notable exception of the King James Version that says thou shalt not kill. So which one is it? And what's the difference? Well, as I've said, there's room for debate here. And people have debated. But I'll give you this. When it came to my understanding of the sixth commandment, I was really helped by the words of a prominent Jewish academic who wrote this. The Hebrew original does not say do not kill. It says do not murder. Both Hebrew and English have two words for taking a life. One is kill, harag, in Hebrew, and the other is murder, racha, in Hebrew. The difference between the two is substantial. To kill means 1, take any life, whether a human being or an animal. 2, taking a human life deliberately or by accident. Or 3, taking a human life legally or illegally, morally or immorally. On the other hand, murder can only mean one thing: the illegal and immoral taking of a human life. That is why we would say, I killed a mosquito, not I murdered a mosquito. That's why we would say the worker was accidentally killed, not the worker was accidentally murdered. And then he goes on to list a couple of scenarios in which taking a life might actually be the morally correct thing to do. For example, in order to stop someone from killing innocent men, women, and children during an active shooter situation. He suggests that one might get a clear distinction between killing and murder if one was forced to protect their family against a would-be murderer. But you know what? The debate remains. And the reason why I think the debate still remains is that regardless of situation, no matter what scenario I could come up with, there is still something inside of us very deep that says all human life is sacred. And to take a human life should be avoided as much as possible.